if it's not organization of the mind, why are we calling egusi melon soup? In a broken system, I believe it's hard for you to picture a world where there's no dysfunction.
There was a time that even here that we had light for almost 24 hours
We were scared.
and we are afraid that see
You know
this
that
light that you guys are giving us, won't there be a repercussion? Be consistent for somebody who has electricity, stable internet connection, a good place to
to
work,
God,
and you that there's no electricity, so that is your lighting. So be consistent for the two guys is very, very different. Everybody is settling for less unconsciously. I'm not even aware of it.
for you to scale through in this Nigeria, there is an element of right positioning. The average Nigerian wants to become a billionaire for no reason.
Tell me anything that is standard in Nigeria and that is made in Nigeria.
The West does not see any race as their equal. We are the ones that operate with inferiority complex. They operate with superiority complex.
How long does it take to wire a man's mind?
A white man cannot be teaching you your roots.
If this country or this continent is going to move forward, the government have to invest heavily in entertainment and media. You can't escape that. Hello guys, good afternoon wherever you are, and welcome to another exciting episode of Against the Tide podcast. I believe you enjoyed the last episode, and I believe you learned one or two things from the last episode. So straight to the point, this today we are talking about a very, very important matter as we do because as Nigerians, a lot is going on, and then most of us we lack proper understanding about many things, and that's why there are a lot of struggles and a lot of misconceptions about how to approach life, and this has actually affected many of us in the way we do things. So today we want to talk about Nigeria, basically. In today Nigeria is an exciting thing.
An adventure.
That's right, with an adventure.
Proper temporal.
Because there's a lot of things to experience, a lot of buzzwords everywhere, a lot of things going on basically. So today we are taking our time to just exploit these matters one after the other. So we want to talk about the average Nigerian. We want to talk about the issues we face every day, waking up as a Nigerian, living in Nigeria. Waking up every day in this country is like a tug of war.
Tug of war.
You wake up.
Tug of war. I don't think tug of war is the right word. I feel like waking up every day is an accomplishment.
An accomplishment.
Like it's like you winning an Oscar or a Grammy.
The fact that you can wake up in the morning, go out, and contend
for your life,
in schools, in your workspace,
even literally,
even
insecurity going on,
everything going on. You get what I'm saying? So you're going out every day and coming back to your house that day. You came back, you rested, you slept, and woke up the next morning. The testimony. So they want to take it bit by bit. Talk about the things that we are experiencing every day and how that what we can do to actually win, living in this country.
Let's not go far. I was thinking about something, and okay. I realized that, do you know that as content creators, a Nigerian content creator that started from the scratch, and later blew up, and is now accomplished, and someone and the content creator that started in another country, there's a big difference. We are not the same.
Of course.
We are literally not the same thing, because like still on the limitations of Nigeria. Look at it now. Let's say you are someone who has, as an upcoming content creator, one of the things that
actually Salim said that we stop calling ourselves upcoming content creators. We call ourselves creators.
Creators, okay.
Exactly.
Now, as creators that are still trying to get into the limelight, there are limitations. There are limitations that we face here in Nigeria that just makes no sense. A lot of unnecessary limitations.
Exactly.
For example, the average creator that is still trying to get into the limelight has a 9 to 5. If he does not have a 9 to 5, he has other things that he's actually using to sustain.
Yeah.
Which means that, number one, devoting your time to this craft will be warfare.
Yes. And the thing is that in the early days, it seems like a waste of time, because okay, now you have a job that you do, right? And if God helps you, it's not remote work that maybe you're at home. If it's remote work, you can still kind of juggle it. You just have to manage your time right. But let's say it's a job whereby you have to go out every day, come back in the evening. No, going out alone is work. Then you are at work every morning, working and all that. So coming back come back in the night, you have to record. Even though you are stressed, you have to record. You have to do many things and still show up every day. In the midst of all that
And
is
Nigerian
work.
electricity will be like,
The
you
one
forgot
it
about
will
me.
and the funny thing is that no matter where you are living in this country, everybody is facing this thing.
You know,
It's just a whole lot. And with the issue of high prices of fuel and all that, so everything is just there's literally no advantage.
do you know that two people can hear a life-changing advice,
Mm-hmm.
but because one is living in Nigeria and one is living in other country, that at least systems work,
Yeah.
it will normally look as if the one that is in Nigeria is unserious.
Yes, no.
It will look as though the one that is in Nigeria that actually,
You know, be consistent. For somebody who has electricity, for somebody who has stable internet connection,
mhm,
for somebody who has
a good
a
place
good place to
to
work,
record content.
and you that there's no electricity, nothing,
Sunlight is your lighting.
sunlight is your lighting, bad internet, even the time that you paid for is still bad, right?
That's it.
So be consistent for the two guys is very very different.
That's still on the surface. To even get money due to the way our minimum wage is structured, to buy a good iPhone that you can still use for the meantime before you can afford cameras is a warfare on its own.
I'm telling you.
To buy mics, these things are to afford a mic. I feel like a day's shift overs
Can do it.
can do it. But here, unless you want to, unless you are planning to undergo another sound waves practical, the
Or maybe you are a professional sound engineer
engineer,
that you know how to manage. But let's say you just want to create content. Like you are not that good in music production, you're not that good in
exactly,
video editing.
you have
You
to
just want to
get
create.
you have to get a good mic, and that costs
That's a
a
lot.
lot, and which is not supposed to be, the
Problem.
money is not supposed to be a lot, but due to the way our Nigerian minimum wage is structured, to remove at least a good mic now, at best like 25 to 55K, at least a manageable mic.
Yeah.
Someone who is collecting 100,000, it's easy to do the calculation in your head that, if I structure this under the bubble, is when the money enters, that that it's very hard to actually remove that. Let's say it's 25,000. It's very hard to actually remove 25,000 from your 100,000 salary, in which you still have to pay rent, you still have
Exactly.
to eat,
You have to do data.
you need data to post your content,
You still have to take transport.
you have to take transport.
Many things like that.
So, like, that's just on the content.
Side.
That's on the content side, though. And we started with this because it's something that we can relate
Relate
to.
to it very, very well. Yeah.
Like, it's I don't know, it's absurd. It's
Yeah.
absurd.
And this day-to-day thing that most of us are used to it or we are used to. There are things that forms your culture now you think.
Yes.
And before you know it, things that should not be is now your culture and is now normal.
It's not your norm. I stumbled on a post where I think the girl was sharing out that a nephew of ours came from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He's a kid, I think, in his teenage years. I'm not
Okay.
sure. So they were watching a movie in the living room, and there was power outage. Do you know the boy? The boy started crying. He thought he had gone blind.
Wow. Wow.
Like, now, it's funny. It might sound funny for engagement and like, but if you look at it critically, you know that what we have, that the fact that we even find that funny
It's the problem.
is a problem.
There's a problem that we all have, that I have, that we all have, that needs to be checked. There was a time that even here that we had light for almost 24 hours
And you're scared.
and we're afraid that
Knowing
this
that
light that you guys are giving us, won't there be a repercussion for giving us, because we had light for 24 hours we escape? That is a
Yeah, no.
dysfunction. And in an average Nigerian is suffering from that. And the first part is that most people don't want to admit that that's the problem.
Let me come from this other angle. There's this guy on TikTok that all he does is, bring out, expose the limitations of the Nigerian educational system.
Okay.
And where he gets his insights from is the fact that he studied both in Nigerian universities and universities that are over and universities overseas.
Okay.
Now he said something. He said it was when he went to study abroad that he knew that he has been abused all his life in the Nigerian university. When he said there are times that the supervisor will call a meeting. Like the supervisor calls the meeting for let's say 2 p.m.
Mhm.
and the man comes 30 minutes late. He said the man will literally be apologizing to him. He said the first time it happened, he himself was scared.
Now let me share my own experience as a Nigerian student or as a graduate. Now, anytime my supervisor on the sales, he will tell us to go and wait for him. Of course, he'll be like, okay, hello guys, go and stay in my office by 12. I will come from 12 downward. And there are times that you wait for 3 hours, 4 hours. And you know you have to wait because you have to
I
wait.
don't wait. His option.
So when it comes, you just okay. So you start telling him, and it's as if it's to me, it's like yeah, to him like it takes pride in that we waited for him. You get like it's as if you're waiting for a king. That okay, just wait until I'm ready for
let
the
me come
game.
with another angle. Have you not? I don't know if in your department you have those lecturers whereby they know their classes start by 2. Their classes are 2 to 4.
Yeah.
They will come to class by 4 and teach you till 7 p.m. and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do, and they will tell you that if you are tired of my class, get out.
Get out. And you know you dare not get out. Because you getting out will be adding some years to your years in the university.
And you know that we all know that in Nigeria, strikes are normal phenomenon. So you that you don't even know when you graduate, they're now adding extra year
Extra
to
year to your
when you
year.
don't
Like,
even know when you
you know,
get. That's the problem.
these are one of the things that the guy said. That that overseas when a lecturer comes late for a class,
Mm-hmm.
he legit apologizes to the students. He said for like the first few months that I got there, he said he was shocked.
It was mesmerized.
He was mesmerized. Like, what is this?
Oh my god.
He even said it to the extent that he had issues with his project. That his lecturer connected him to someone who was doing his PhD and mandated that person to help him. Mandated. Here you will turmoil. Here you will go through turmoil. You will what? No, when the Bible said you have labored all night.
We experience it
Here
in
you will
Nigerian
labor all
universities.
night,
All day, all evening,
all evening.
and that's just an aspect like the educational system. Now check it. Every system is reeking of dysfunction,
I'm telling you.
and this is what we wake up to say every day, right? Like you wake up in the morning and step into a dysfunctional system that you are stepping into a system that was built to disturb and frustrate your life, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's a system. You can't break it.
Do you know, as a football fan, I noticed something recently that anybody wants to come for me can come for me, but I'll say it as it is. I noticed that when a Nigerian, maybe it's just me, I stand to be corrected, but there's this when a Nigerian, when Nigeria produces a football player that is,
That is good.
above, I'm not good, let's say
Or very,
above
like
average,
yeah.
they have this tendency to overestimate
The abilities.
the football player, and you can't really blame them. You can't really see. It's hard for you to picture, in a broken system. I believe it's hard for you to picture a world where there's no dysfunction.
Of course.
So everything you see, your what you call your standards, has been induced and influenced by this dysfunctional system.
Yeah.
That's why.
And also, in a dysfunctional system, it's very easy for us to rise, right? So if someone rises, we try to overcompensate ourselves. Now, or at least you have somebody that is in this room. So even though in that room they are carrying cup for the king, but because they're in that room, we are satisfied. Our ego is okay because I have somebody that is in this place. And that's why even though that player is sitting on the bench all day, we are still proud that at least you have somebody. And even other countries, they have. that same player that we are proud of, they have like, let's say, like hundreds or thousands of them. So one player on the bench don't really move them. You get. So that's why even the player is not good enough. Can be crying that, hey, this coach, you are crazy, you are all that, you are, they're trying to even cause problem on social media, because all we know how to do is to make noise on social media,
That's
right?
it.
So because we have somebody there, and even though the person is not maybe good enough, right? And you're putting him on the bench because he's not good enough. And even though there are others that are good, that are good, that are better, they're like, bench this guy that is much more better than
That's more
play our
prolific,
own average
more proficient. Exactly. Bench the proficient one for our own
and bench
average.
our own, and start our own
And
average.
start our own
Think about
average.
it.
Now,
And if you are running your company like that, how many years will you spend in your small kiosk? Think about it. But because we have a problem
and
and we are dysfunctional our
and
thinking,
guess
we
what?
can allow that.
And guess what now? Another ripple effect of that is that in a dysfunctional background,
Mm-hmm.
the few ones that are able to rise to to an
It's a very high
international
standard.
standard,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to overcompensate for it by subtly looking down on others.
Yeah, yeah. Because they're like, there's this something that, like, there's something that most people do. They be like, Shebi, okay, you're complaining that the Nigeria is not working. And Shebi, it's that's the Nigeria I need to
That I
use.
came out from.
You get.
Not putting into consideration that I believe, yes, there's a bit of grace, there's a bit of work, but I still believe that for you to scale through in this Nigeria, there is an element of, I don't want to say luck, there's an element of,
They be an advantage job that others don't have.
and one, number two, there's an element of right positioning,
Exactly.
proper
They
utilization
as
of
you.
kairos.
Because
Hmm.
there's something that most people don't realize, or they don't think of, especially when they are made in that things. Most time, there was this guy that said something that he sees his success a gift. That like it's so sexy. Like is it okay? Yes, I remember very well now. The guy did an event, or maybe say a talk, and the title of his talk was the gift of success. All that everyone at the top was given that seat. You
That
get. No. Let me finish what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that giving in sense that way that a law for there's an available seat at the corner. No,
mm,
of course there's a way of competence. There's a place of value. There's a place of you showing up every day and owning your gift. But then when you have obeyed all the principles and you are good in your craft,
there's still a spark,
there's a
catalyst.
place of you knowing somebody that can mention your name in a room that you can never enter.
I'm telling you. You,
And most times don't remember all these things because it seems as if they're
you
insignificant.
do know to an extent. When I was reading Psychology of Money by I think Morgan Housel,
Yeah, yeah.
he said the same thing that I think he was talking about how that people hail Mark Zuckerberg
Yes.
but insult the owners of Yahoo when all that happened was just proper utilization of time and season. It was not like one was better than the other. Or as people saying that all these motivational speakers, they aspire to Maguire's.
Mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
are saying never give up. They are using Yahoo story as never give up. That why they quickly sell it. I don't know if it's Yahoo also. I think there was a brand that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah. I know, I
direct
know, I
rival
know,
of
I know.
Google
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time. That and people were like, why did he sell? I was just laughing. Like, if you have ever been in business, you know that.
it's
And
not ones and zeros.
it's not
Oh.
ones and
It's not
zeros. There are
life is not
many.
binary. There are many factors you have to consider. Life is not binary at all.
So, and this is for people that are in a working system. Now you are in a system that can take your life tomorrow. Like I'm not exaggerating.
Literally.
Literally can take your life tomorrow. Our condolences, before I forget, our condolences goes out to the 40 kids who are in bondage and the teachers. We pray that the Almighty God will rescue them with his supernatural power and also provide for them sufficient healing to
Amen.
navigate the rest of their lives. So,
Amen. Amen. All right. So in the midst of all this dysfunction and chaos that we find ourselves in this nonsense that we call the country. And the thing is that if you are waking up and entering into something every day, there's a mindset
that is already programmed.
that you are already receiving, right? There's a wiring that you are actually getting by by engaging with a barrier day by day. And before you know it, okay, now it's like that story that we were told, or that experiment that they did, that they put is it ants now or some creatures inside the boat that could fly? Now they put those things and they covered it, right? And those animals or those ants began to fly. But because there was a lid on top of the boat, they could not escape. Now when the lid was removed, they were still flying, but because of that wiring,
It's not even
they
like
could not escape that
there's
box.
even one similar one that if I don't know how to I think it's a cow. There's a domestic animal that
It
if
died.
if you keep it in bondage for a particular number of hours,
Mm-hmm.
it will find it unless you are chasing it with the intent to kill it. You find it difficult, even when you later release it, to find it difficult
To escape.
to imagine a life that is outside the confines of
Bondage.
where he was in bondage.
Exactly. So all these things has actually like reduced our expectation of life. It has made us reduce the quality of our demand from life.
The average
And
Nigerian
it's
does
as
not know
if
that
everybody is settling for less unconsciously. And I'm not even aware of it.
the issue is not everybody settling for less. The issue is that the people settling for less are still classist.
Exactly. No,
You
the
know
issue is
that
that we are so dysfunctional to the extent that what we think as more or the best
is being better than the other person.
is better than that. And the thing is, and in Bible says that if you are comparing yourself to another person, you are not
I
wise.
know.
But the issue is that everybody wants to be better than his mate. It's like what they told us, or what students actually do most times. When you have a bad result, you have a bad result. If you are doing that bad result, you are depressed or you are okay. But once you find that the majority of the class had carry over, like
And your own caliber was maybe like 39.
exactly.
You are like our chief
So
now.
meaning that the goal was not to be excellent or to be first.
The goal was to be
The
better
goal
than
was to
the
be better
others.
than others. And that's the issue that most people are. So our demands have been reduced to the lowest. Our desires, what we can do, what we aspire for, even our dreams,
I think
has a problem.
it was Eric Gugua that was saying it. He said that one of I think Eric Gugua said it, another content creator now, I treated on that point. He said one thing that you can do for yourself as a Nigerian, if you are opportune to, is try to travel out. I'm not saying
Not jackpot, but
it's not
just
Japan, but just able
spend
to
like 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks.
witness how things work in a working system. Just look at it that it has a way of changing your perspective. Let's give a simple example. Look at Eduardo
Yeah.
pushing content. You can tell that I respect his artistry as a content creator, but in a maybe he's actually putting some efforts that we don't see. But looking at it from the outside, is it looks seamless the way he creates content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The assurance that I'm going home and there'll be light for me to create content. There'll be electricity that I can use as lighting to create content.
You are not thinking of the amount of money you spend on maybe to get fuel to
To buy
power your gadget, or thinking of maybe you have to install a solar system in your house. All those bodies are not there. So literally, and once those bodies are taken away, you can like more energy can be put into productivity.
you know that I believe
That's just
this is why it's as if many Nigerians, it's more like in their formative years, they aspire high. But when they see a little bit of comfort, all the aspirations drop. You know why?
no, it's not once they see
All
reality.
they see, no, let's even, like, I'm not even coming from that line now. When they see, for example, the average Nigerian wants to become a billionaire for no reason, for
Exactly.
no concrete reason. Let me say for no reason, for no substantial reason. Yes, if you give them a platform to talk, they will give you a lot of textbook reasons as to why
They want
they
to.
want to be. But if you are someone that is very discerning, you can tell that this guy wants to become a billionaire so that he
So
can afford the basic things of life that we have termed as luxury.
that's just it. You want to have maybe in your house you don't want lights to go off, you want to have internet.
He wants to go off the grid.
You
That's
want
close to like
to
20 million
you want to have maybe 10 cars.
in cars.
You want to have what else? Okay, you want to have houses.
That's why
All those things are still basic
that's
needs.
why most of them, the moment they get the opportunity to travel out, all their dreams just die with them because 90% of the things that were motivating them
Are already there in the
were
system.
already there in the system. So there's no internal, like, there's no much internal force.
So meaning that the basic need of life are motivation to work.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Like, look at it. Let's look at it critically. Let's do a little bit of economics. You know what it means to feed a family of three? A bag of rice is 70,000. And let's say a bag of rice is 70,000. And you know the way Nigeria, if you are someone who does grocery shopping, not those who go to Walmart, not I mean not the Nepo babies here, where they just order. Now, if you are someone who goes to the market to get things, you know that it is 200 times, 200% better for you to buy those things in bulk.
Of course, of course, of course.
But but it's when you now start the purchase that you know that no,
Sometimes it's good to buy small small.
it's good to buy small small. Your perspective just quickly change.
See, that is it. I can relate it because there's time that even back at home, most times if you want to buy food, it's always like buy like bags of rice, like maybe half bag of rice and all that.
I don't know when last I've seen. Can I shock you? I don't know when last I've seen bag of rice in our house. Except the only time I see bag of rice in our house is when it's festive period.
It is what it is. So mean that Nigeria has made you reduce. Wow.
So like it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it is what it is. So and also like this issue of Nigerian like Nigeria happening to you as colonials our mind in such a way that what we call standard are the things that like it's as if we cannot create our own standard. Because tell me anything that is a standard in Nigeria and that is made in Nigeria. Or let me say a kind of vision or a kind of perspective.
Have you not heard? Have you not heard these phrases like? Have you not heard phrases like? Is the Nigerians also so?
Nigerian Messi,
But yeah, like come to football where we can all relate. Just
Nigerian Bigot.
bro, just praise this guy's ability. Must you
Must you
compare him
compare him with
with someone with a
foreign
foreign
person?
person? Come to the realm of business too. You see them call Dangote the Nigerian Elon Musk. I'm
Azal.
like, and guess what? I've never heard anyone. I've never heard it in my life that okay, that is the American, is the
American Dangote.
is the American Soyinka. I've never heard
It's
it.
not possible.
I've never heard it. Is
Honestly,
that bad?
they understand that they are standards. And until we start inculcating the same mindset that we as we can be standards, definitely everything we do is going to be subjective
It
to
gives
what they do right there.
it gives credence as to why many of our native foods we are now getting English name for them.
Why?
And guess what? Do you know the crazy aspect is that many many of these, many Nigerians who are opportunity to travel out or
Mm-hmm.
go to restaurants where there's fine dining where you have
Mm-hmm.
access to intercontinental dishes. They learn how to pronounce they learn how
Exactly.
to pronounce the food like exactly the way.
Okay, look at Okpa Infamaki. This guy will still be correcting. Let's for instance now you as a person you go to an entire restaurant and you order a food and you now pronounce it in a funny way. You should be like, bro, that thing you said is not right. But we, our own food, our own pounded yam, our own which I think there's something on the okay beans pudding.
As my
I think that's moi.
beans
Like
beans cake akara.
akara.
Make it make sense.
Like most
Just
still
like
compromise everything in foreign way.
just make it make sense. Let me give you another angle. There are some foods that the British people had to call. There's something the British people called borrowed words.
Mm-hmm.
Biscuit is not an English word. Okay. Sachet is not
Yeah,
an
yeah,
English
yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah.
There's this food that I think they have.
Even cappuccino is not an English word, it's Italian.
What's the name of this food? Forgetting the name. There's this popular dish that and I used to run pages on food. Like you see Nigerians pronouncing this thing with intention and actually taking pride in the fact
Pride,
that
fact that they can pronounce a French dish in the right this
in
thing,
the
in the
right
right
diction.
intonation,
But guess what? You put when you put if not if it's not colonization of the mind, why are we calling egusi melon soup? Call me
I don't
like
understand.
I don't care what you say, history, blah blah blah. Why must
Egusi is egusi.
egusi,
Uh-uh.
egusi, egusi?
Afang is afang. See, there's no need to make it sound tush. There's this guy in Futa area when we in fellowship, when we in what's it called, undergraduate. This guy was invited to a fellowship. I don't know if you still remember
Someone
Samuel
like
Leja.
that.
When that guy was actually giving out this, his friend picks on our table, changed his name to English. It was like I want to beat this man in a way that the foreign guys will have to learn to pronounce my name.
That's
Not me trying to.
that's why one of the creators I really love in upholding, even though at times he falls into that ditch once in a while, is this Lamborghini Linga Lamb guys. So what they
Okay,
do,
yeah, yeah,
what they
yeah,
do
yeah.
basically is they stay abroad. So they order Nigerian food, and the husband basically tries to teach
The wife have to
the
eat
wife
it.
how to eat it, the name, and all those things. Because is there are times I sit down and look at it, the meal is a souffles. It's a French meal.
And so sometimes I'm thinking that is it as if we are actually ashamed of our culture
I can't say. See, the thing is this. That's why it's called. I believe it's called colonization and reprogramming
for a
for a
reason.
reason. See, although I will not.
But my question is that how long does it take to wire a man's mind?
It takes generations, bro.
Hmm.
There was an experiment in Japan
Yeah,
where they were, I
the
think they were
coffee
trying to
stuff.
bring coffee to them.
Yeah,
They tried it. They tried run and ad. It didn't work. What they did was that they infused coffee in something that Japanese can do
yeah,
without. That was stick sweet,
yeah.
and waited for 30 years. That's the
But
generation
my problem is that we are not putting effort to even trying to
be
have our own mind.
because the way due to the fact that we have been brought up in a dysfunctional system, it has shifted us to a point of survival where nobody cares about how their life influences others. The average Nigerian just wants to. That's I'm telling.
And that is the issue I have with our influencers basically. Because it's as if everybody is pushing a kind of lifestyle that is not okay. Maybe except a few, maybe except a few. But most of them are actually like pushing. And media is media is education
You
basically.
don't understand. Let's suspend the lifestyle alone. What kind of content are they pushing out?
That's the thing.
Because guess what? If you see the way American influencers push out their content, you think there's no ghetto in US.
Exactly.
The way UK influencers push out the content, you think everywhere is just this is
Needs
neat and
and
nice,
all
and
that.
it's a lie. Do you know that to a large extent, I think I don't know how true it is anymore, but there's time that UK had, in terms of statistics, had more gun violence than even Nigeria. But you can never. But
Can
guess
never
what?
know that.
Our own content creators check.
We are proud that we have slums, we have people. You see people coming out and be like, I'm from this thing, I am crazy, I'm that. We are proud of all those things.
And guess what? Even check their content. Many of the things they push out is how that maybe someone is running and he mistakenly steps on a soldier, and the soldier picks him up, takes him to the barrack,
I'm beating.
and beats 10 like 10
Or give
years,
him an impossible task.
or gives him an impossible
There was this thing I saw that okay, maybe a guy did something wrong and he was apprehended. Or apprehended is not the word. He was caught. Or let me say he was taken.
Mhm.
That's the word. So they're like you should move 100 blocks from place to another place. After he moved it, their organ came. Like, what did you move this from this place? If this is where we need it, you now get to move it back to where you carried it from.
And guess what? Those are the things we push out to the world.
A normal skit maker, that is their comedy.
Like no, you see, it's not like if you look at it from another angle, you can't blame them. They grew up. That's what they grew up to. You see,
See, it's what you see that you create.
even the Bible says, "Out of the abundance of the
You
heart,
don't think it.
the mouth speaketh."
I did not
Rather,
speak rather. Yeah,
which
thank
means
you.
that indirectly, he's saying that your what comes out of you is dependent on what you've exposed yourself to
Over the years.
over the years.
And that's why it's time that we should start taking responsibility to start showing the kind of content that we want to see.
That's why to an extent, I'm not. I might not. I'm not an 100% fan or stand. Let me use the word stand or video. But that's very dark man. But I 100% respect what he's
You
doing.
have to respect him now.
I respect. See, I said that that's how you know how oppression has crept into our mindset, and has taught us his precepts, because the same person who is your only hope in case of oppression, future oppression, you are making enemies with him now.
Exactly.
Because
make him a scapegoat.
because guess what? Because at a time he dragged your faith, a faith that does not even know about your existence, your faith that does not even know that you exist, just because.
See, God has to help us. And that's why I see if this country or this continent is going to move forward, the government have to invest heavily in entertainment and media.
I'm
You
telling
can't
you.
escape that.
I think
Look at the West now.
minus that. Do you know that that's why I feel like minus that. How many okay, you see that these people are very when it comes to their movies, they are very intentional about what they push out there
Yes, no.
in their movies. You know, yeah, have you
Yeah,
noticed
of course, of course.
every
Why do you think they show the Times Square every time in New York?
which minus
You know,
that
they show it so much that you want to go there.
and minus that you can never see you can never it's very rare for you to see a movie done in the West where they are the villain.
It's not possible.
Where they are the and even
It's
if,
always maybe Mexican somebody
and guess what?
or
Check every one thing I say is that check every movie that they said was about Africa in quotes. You know Black Panther was not shot in Africa. It was shot in Georgia.
see. That's why they cannot do a movie for us. And okay, it's as if your colonizer is trying to promote it.
Like
Does that make any sense to you?
minus
Like
that.
somebody that held you in chains for centuries is now trying to okay, they're saying, oh, no to racism.
Minus that. Minus
All
that.
those things are proper propaganda going on underground,
Minus
but
that.
then
Do you know that?
they aren't talking about it.
Do you know that? Even in Nollywood movies, the so-called Nollywood
Yeah.
movies, you notice that when somebody is struggling,
Mm-hmm.
there are many. I've noticed this pattern in many Nollywood movies. When he's struggling, they use Nigerian cities and the likes. So his big break, he travels abroad to get it.
So what stories that pushing abroad? Is that pushing out? It means that you can't make it. You must go there to go and
So that's the problem.
see. I think is see you have to what I said before. I think we have to actually expound on it a bit. This thing of um all these racism movies, all these movies about blacks that these guys are doing. See, I can't fall for I can't fall for that trash because what are the content of those movies?
See, um, the issue I have with I don't want us to dwell too much on it. I just speak
Yeah,
per
yeah,
bit
yeah.
of it. The issue I have with many of these racism movies is that you notice that even in the end, there's no suitable consequence for the person that actually performed that was actually racist.
Yes, now.
I don't know if you've seen the hate you give.
Uh,
The cop that killed the lady's daughter, nothing happened. There's even one when they see us, four black men. So a case happened. I think they were in the. I think they were. It's been a while, so they were in the wrong. Let's just say they were at the wrong time where a lady was raped.
mhm.
So you know what the police did? One thing they don't like there is having to make mockery of their police force.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they took
yeah,
those
yeah.
kids to interrogation room, manipulated them to make their stories invalidate, to make their stories, set them up. I'm telling you that these guys some spent 30 years, some spent
Increase.
it was that bad. There was even one that after he came out, he went back to crime because he could not think of any other one apart from what is me. I think the one that was the oldest was I think 15 or 14. So imagine spending 30 plus 14 years, that's 44 years. 30 years of your prime
Okay. In prison,
in prison
under bondage.
under bondage.
It is what it is, honestly.
So
And
and guess what?
and
This is why I cannot totally blame them is see the West generally believes that they are superior to every race,
100,
not
100,
just blacks.
100, 100, 100.
But the reason why they cannot treat every race the way they treat us is just that people in that race actually took responsibility.
Exactly. Examples, the Chinese.
See the Chinese. There's I've forgotten how this there was this experiment that they were using Chinese people for what I've forgotten the details. For instance, like, yes, you can see that historically we have been on the receiving end of their tyranny, but still, I'm telling you that I am telling you that there are many races. The West does not see any race as their equal.
Yes, no.
We are the ones that operate with inferiority complex. They operate with superiority complex.
Yeah,
They be
yeah,
like speak your English from
yeah,
today to
yeah.
tomorrow. They
They,
believe
they
they are
don't, they
superior.
don't, they don't care, they don't care.
They believe they are
And they show and they show it every
And
day.
guess
They're
what?
passionate about
And
pushing
guess
it
what?
at
Our
them.
leaders are passionate and diligent in making them correct, like in making them right, in making them seem right, rather.
Yeah, yeah,
They are
yeah.
passionate about it. And it's crazy.
It is what it is, honestly. So like to come out of this box that we are in, that we are born into, because Nigeria has been independent for going to 70 years now. But then are we actually independent? That's the billion dollar question.
Independent on paper.
Answer that by yourself. So how do you actually like, because most times when discourse like this have been like had or have been held,
Most people talk about the
we talk
problems.
about the issues, talk about the problems, we cry, then go back home.
See, I feel like number one is the fact that the government has to be intentional about investing in our media.
Very
Because guess
correct.
what? The reason why I feel like the US government has a strong pull on their media, on the entertainment sector, rather, is because they actually sponsor these people.
Yes.
But here, they don't sponsor the people here. They even tax them. It's not like they don't tax them over soon. But you know, one thing I've come to believe about taxation, I come to believe about taxation is you can demand for taxes when you have shown workings.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my now. Any economist who is now, I'm not trying to be an island of knowledge. I'm not stating my opinion as fact, but that's just my belief. That for you to demand for the tax of the people, you must show workings.
At least the reason why the US can, or the maybe UK can ask for 40% is because there are things that they are doing, and that's why people are even moving there.
Mm-hmm.
You get, but here like this, let's not even talk about it.
So that's so
Is a
one
lot
is
of
the entertainment sector
has to be
that
invested in
they have to
heavily,
be invested in heavily. So that
and we have to be intentional about, because it's not just you pouring money inside the
have to be intentional
entertainment
about
industry.
what is going out.
What is the story trying to tell?
Thank you.
What are we showing? Are we showing the excellence of our culture?
Out.
Because the issue is that an average Nigerian does not even know the how deep our culture is, because nobody's telling that story.
Let's
Nobody's telling those stories,
let's not.
because most people think that those stories will not say. But let's try it first. Let's try it first. Okay, all these movies that are coming out in this movies like Klisabi, are we not watching them?
We watch them. No?
What are you saying? So if investment is made in those direction, Nigerians will watch those movies. I'm telling you. And if those movies they are showing up consistently on our faces, then we think we start changing.
Not just can I shortly. Let me show you how the internet space has influenced us without knowing. 20 years ago, what is birthday? Oh, I think there was birthday shoots, but not as sophisticated as now. What is pregnancy bomb 20 years ago? What is there's this something bridal, is it bridal photo shoot or something? What do they call it?
Is it brother shower?
Bridal shower.
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
bridal
yeah,
shower
yeah.
20 years ago?
But now it's a thing
Is
now.
it thing
It's
now?
a thing now.
Who were the proponents of it? The people in the entertainment sector.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cause guess what? An average human being is bound by what psychologists call FOMO.
Yeah, the fear of
Or
missing out.
or in other words, they can call it keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Where you are trying to, be in vogue, be in vogue rather.
And that's like saying, okay, years ago, this issue of proposing in public. Till today, I still have issue with that thing. See what I want to say. I'm not an advocate of you now in the public. Maybe you are in a restaurant, you are having a date, you are laying down. Will you
Minus my
finish with your ring?
minus that, although I don't like it, we will still do it.
You don't have to, because
You marry a
we
woman
have seen it over and over again,
unless
and you believe it is normal.
unless you don't want your marriage to be peaceful.
You do it.
You do it.
They will tell you that if you don't propose and there's no say yes, you've not done it right.
That's why you begin to hear sayings like, if you wanted to,
He would. See, in the past, I've heard that statement almost 1 million times. If I hear it again,
if you wanted to, you would. Do you know how many things I want on myself that are not good? I want a Benz. I want an iPhone 17 Pro
but
Max.
no, we would.
I'm not good yet. Let me use that word.
It is what
So that's how the thing. First, when we talk about entertainment, the entertainment sector, we talk about not just movies, content,
exactly.
Twitter.
Our short form content,
I
our
believe,
reels.
I genuinely believe, allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
that I think there is a bankrolling of many of these useless bloggers on Twitter to push the propaganda. So and there's only one body that is capable of bankrolling that kind of propaganda. If you get it, you get it.
Exactly.
So
mean that there's actually investment in these things.
So
but in the negative direction.
If they channel that same energy in pushing out uplifting content about Africa, No,
In the next 20 years, things will change.
can I shock you?
Right now, you are begging for foreign investors. It's because they don't know what we have. So mean that if you push it out there enough, these guys will sit and
Can
they'll
I
come
shock
and
you? Do you
invest
know that
even
this
here.
guy? I was watching the classified podcast that was done by Apostle Lazarus. He brought somebody called Jubela. And
Yeah.
apparently, what he does is an investigative journalist that does a lot of history contents. It was when I was reading about the Tafawa Balewa, the first, the big three, Tafawa Balewa, Bafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikwe,
Mm-hmm.
and also the others that come out, Joshua Oshagada. I'm like, they didn't teach us nada in school. I'm like, they didn't teach us nothing in
You
school.
know, see those guys that removed history from our curriculum in secondary school. We have to go back to that thing.
We have to be jailed,
Because
actually.
the question is that when will you deprive kids from knowing their roots? You know that is not a problem.
That's another
And I
way.
believe this I believe like this is a personal opinion.
Mm,
It might not be correct. I believe there's actually a cool oh my god.
Kulian.
You know, like a colonialist agenda
Okay.
behind that move. Because why are you depriving us from knowing our roots?
And
What is the problem?
and guess what? And guess what? The thing is now this. That's how you know that in Nigeria. Now, getting to how to solve this now.
Okay.
Said heavily interested in like the government's heavily investing in the
Entertainment.
entertainment sector, and
Yeah.
also an individualistic effort on everyone's part to do what I call independent learning. Now, I know this word has been used online, has been flied
Exactly.
around the likes. Well,
The same time.
what I understand by independent learning is where you make an effort to actually understand first our history
Exactly.
from different sources.
And about that as well, if you want to do a deep research into history, you have to mind your source.
Yes,
Because some sources are propagandas.
a white man cannot be teaching you
Your roots.
your roots. It's not
Is
possible.
that it? So if you want to okay, let's say you actually watch this video to this point and you're like, oh, let me even take up this challenge and let me start knowing about Nigeria, the history of Yoruba land and all that. Make sure that your source is not the white man.
Thank you.
Because some of this might have been edited out of history and some of this might have been added that did not happen.
I'll even try to recommend the Bella. I've seen a lot of his contents, and trust me, there's detailed research, not just blind reading, but what do they call it? Introspection into the truth, rationalizing what he read.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's the one person that I see that is doing that diligently. So I would recommend Jude Bella if you want to really understand the African truth. And there are also books that you can. I believe the more you start searching,
The more
you
you
find,
see, the more
you
you
see.
see. So and see, the more we actually know these things, the more we start knowing that we are sufficient of ourselves.
I'm telling you.
Because this is idea that must travel out, you must, before you can be important.
See, I don't want us to be insensitive, but
Because
because
of the way the
the
country
way
is.
the country is now, if you are waiting for the country to get unsettled before before you take action, if you have an opportunity to travel out,
You
just even
can.
if it's just for education or something, I will urge you to take it.
Yeah, yeah.
So at
So
least
at least know how the system over there work.
know how a proper system
Exactly.
works.
So that if you are coming back, you have a reset in your thinking.
Thank you.
Yeah. We just started with talking about our issues. What we actually wake up to see day by day, the barriers that has now become a culture and normal. And now that those things are not actually normal, but because we have seen them over time and over time, we have adapted them. And because of this adaptability, our expectations have been cut short. Our desires has been reduced. So therefore, we can no longer demand what we demand. And the things we are demanding or our motivations for hard work are actually the basic things of life that we don't have. So it's time to actually go back to doing some things to actually create an intentional state in our mind. And we talked about investment into the media and entertainment sector because these are things that all of us we engage in every day. All of us we are on IG, we are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, and the things we see on these places, and also we all watch movies. The things we see on these places are what actually make up our mind and our thinking. So mean that if you start pushing out the right content about Nigerian, about Africa, about our root, about our tradition, then definitely we actually help the next generation. Of course, it might have little effect on us that we are actually adults now. But if we start doing these things, our children will come into a better society than we lived in. You get what I'm saying?
And one side I know you probably not like to hear is study extensively.
Extensively.
Not necessarily books. If you know you're someone who struggles with reading books,
Watch
watch
podcasts.
podcasts.
Don't just, and also don't hear something and believe it.
Exactly. Confirm it from two or
Convert,
different.
convert from many, many sources.
I think it's called, is it interpolation or something? Iteration, yeah.
Yes. Even the Bible says that the amount of 2 or 3 witnesses, the
The
truth shall
truth
be
is
established.
established. So yeah, so
You should get.
the Bible says study to show
And
thyself
even
approved.
like in the multitude of counsel, there's
There's
safety.
safety. So I
So
just think Bible says study to show thyself
exactly.
approved.
So we're in the age whereby, and you know, because of AI now, everything can be manipulated. So mean that if you are not sure of what your authentic is, you'll be deceived. So you and myself, everybody, we have to go back to the books. Let's sit down, let's know the root of this so that we can actually tackle them the right way. So I believe you all have learned something again today in this another episode of Against the Tide podcast. So do well to like this video, share it to a friend, and subscribe to the channel.
It doesn't bite.
Exactly, because
It doesn't bite.
you doing that is actually helping us to reach many people online. So see you same time next week. Till that time, stay
Still
safe and stay good.